It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see DJ Moore. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Bears and the Bengals coming up next.
We're in a city built on 7 hills, and the fans hoping to see 7 points on the board early. We're at Cincinnati's Paycor Stadium. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Up here in the booth, I'm Kate Scott alongside Brock Heward. And Brock, now that we're into the November portion of our season, we've gotten a pretty good picture of who both of these teams, at least who we expect these teams to be from here on out.
Yeah, no question about it, Kate. They're through the opening rounds if this is a boxing match, right? In this season-long fight. Early issues been worked through, or at least you hope so. And this is where they have to be in that groove as we push through the heart of the season. Any team with hopes beyond Week 18, they got to be figured out. Got to figure out who they are and what they are right now. Their biggest strengths and their most glaring weaknesses.
Cairo Santos out for the opening kick. And away we go in Cincinnati. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. So here come the Bengals, ready for their opening drive. They're led out by the legend over in LSU, the former #1 overall pick in 2020, Joe Burrow.
A win is a win for him, whether he goes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, Kate, or maybe he just finds the end zone once like last week. And being the team-first guy he is, he'd be more than happy to end the game with just 1 touchdown pass, or maybe even no touchdown passes, so long as they get the win in the end. Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Here's Brown again. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. That tackle made by Tremaine Edmonds. 3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Complete beyond the marker. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
1st and 10 from the 41. From the gun, a give to Brown. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Hit made by T.J. Edwards. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. Play action now. Burrow. And he won't escape. The Bears take him down. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Well, they had the look, certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect, and now they're stuck facing 4th down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. It's fielded at the 14. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. So here come the Bears as they get set for their debut series. And they're brought out by a player with immense expectations and promise in the league. He was picked 1st overall in 2024 out of USC, Caleb Williams.
Caleb was one of the most hyped prospects ever out of college football, and I'm not speaking out of turn or any hyperbole there. It's why he was the #1 pick. And you put on his highlight reel, Kate, you can put that highlight reel against anybody the last 50 years.
There he goes, right sideline, into the red zone. Touchdown, Chicago! The Bears don't need long to take a 6-0 lead. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Santos connects on the point after. And the Bears will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. He fields it from the 8. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Bengals and Jamar Chase about to take over on offense once again. And as this season progresses, he's been a steady producer for this offense, leading the league in receptions to this point. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
His foray up the middle, and that's about 3. Hit made by T.J. Edwards. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. And the Bears bring in an extra defensive back for this 3rd down. Burrow out of the shotgun. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. One of the rare instances there, Brock, where the quick slant doesn't win against zone coverage. He just couldn't hang on to the football.
No, we know this, Kate. In man coverage, it's about that separation, right?
Yeah.
You've got to win and create leverage versus zone. It's all about that anticipation and accuracy, and if you're not on point, that zone defender can break it up.
And he gets his offense in better field position here to start. Up close to the 30. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And it's going to be Bears football. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now here's DeAndre Swift on the ground. And he gets him around 6 there. Tackle made by Juwan Bentley. A look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Williams. And the coverage just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. Williams from the gun. That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Williams to throw on 1st. Looking for a target. Finds his running back, DeAndre Swift. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Dax Hill up for the stop. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
These stops, they don't always make the end-of-game highlight reels, but they absolutely should. The coaches and players know it. Offenses are always counting on yards on that type of run. And anytime it results in a loss, it could be a potential drive killer.
And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And their special teams converts to get them something out of that possession.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down. Running the toss here to Brooks. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
I know they say it any time he comes up in an interview, but they appreciate having him on this defense so much, Kate, because of plays like that one. Those are great instincts. It takes instincts and want to come up and run support, and not many corners can make that stop.
2nd and 13. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Kevin Byard comes up with it. And it's a touchdown as he brings it back for the pick six. Another score here in this first quarter, Brock, as they continue dominating in this opening frame.
You know what I love here, Kate? This defense is seizing on a sputtering opponent, and they're actively trying not just to defend the lead, but to add to it.
Santos now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bears take a 3-possession lead. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Here's Charlie Jones with the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So now here comes the Bengals on offense. And they didn't have much time to recover from that pick six. Need short memories here as they head back out. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline and his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. 3rd and short, it's Burrow. He has the first over the middle. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. On 1st down, here's Burrow. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Whatever could go wrong for him so far certainly has. And so many times when we see a QB throw an interception early, it just starts to get in your head. That little seed of doubt, that little thought that you got to flush of, oh, what's going to happen next? Because then you hold the ball, and you hold the ball in this league, and you get sacked.
Another try following the sack. And he won't get it there. Defender finds a throw and breaks it up.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target could make a play on it.
3rd and long for him here. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. He fields this at the 18. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Big kick on that one, 62 yards. And it'll be their football. Chicago getting set to take the field now. They have been automatic scoring in this quarter, and yet another opportunity to do so here. Here's Swift to start the drive. And he's brought down for a loss. Now we're going to have a break in the action. One of the Bengals in some pain. They're going to go out to look at him. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Working from the gun, Williams. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. Now throw in the direction of DJ Moore. So they're left facing 3rd and long. To throw, Williams. He's loaded another one up. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Punt meets him at the 28. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And it'll be Bengals football. First down, ball at the 36. Brown on the carry. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Sent to the ground by Kyler Gordon. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 38. Gets it to his man, Mike Gesicki. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Hit made by T.J. Edwards. Now it's Brown. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
You know, I'm not sure what else could have been done there, Kate. Just the right call defensively to come up with a third and short stop.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. Jake Bailey's going to kick it away. Averaging a little under 50 a kick so far, Brock, as he gets away another one. And this is marked out all the way down at the 6. They'll be dangerously close to their own goal line for this series. Chicago's offense trotting out there for another series. It sure seems like they've been able to score every time they've touched it this quarter, Brock. So high hopes again for this upcoming series. First down, here's Swift. Juke the defender. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on first down. That brings up 2nd and 2. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Here's Swift on 2nd down. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs. This one goes for 3 yards. And that's a Chicago first down. That's the end of one, and yikes, things looking a little out of hand already. 17-0 is our score. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. We're back and all set for the second quarter. Bears football. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. They run the counter with Swift. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And he's short of the first after a mild gain. 3rd and just 2 to go. Off the play fake, Williams. Catch is made down the right sideline. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. A tight end in motion now. First down throw by Williams. It's taken in by Roma Dunze. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Putting a receiver in motion. First down, Williams. Throw left side, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers, or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
Option play. Diving for the goal line, and it's not free! And now the Bengals have it! And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
That is such a gut punch as a quarterback. You put in so much work to get down near the goal line. And then you've got to take care of the football. You can't be reckless with the ball. Those defenders are looking to knock it free, and that's exactly what they did, keeping points off the board.
The Bengals and Joe Burrow all set to take over. And as we work our way through this regular season, you can see he's currently sitting in the top 5 of the league in passing. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Going with Brown on the ground. We're working a couple of yards past the line. Sent to the ground by Kyler Gordon. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Burrow from the gun. Got a man, it's Gesicki. And he reaches the 17-yard line as he's hauled down. They'll come up 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. He puts some juice on a deep throw. He's got it deep downfield. And he's going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Return coming from the 6. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Bears about set for their next possession. They came into this game on a 5-game win streak and currently in control of what could be a 6th straight victory. Williams to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Williams on the play action. Able to get it to Moore. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Now we're going to have a timeout for the players shaken up, and that's DeAndre Swift in some discomfort and being attended to. They go play action on 1st. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for a Bears 1st down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
And he gets this one down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Play action on 1st down. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Chicago. The Bears make it a 16-point ball game. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they can be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
That one splits the uprights. And the Bears take a 3-possession lead. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. On the ground, Brown. And he has him a small chunk of yards up to the 42. Offense up to the line fast. 2nd and 3. Catch made by Chase Brown. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. On the handoff, this is Brown. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. That tackle made by Tremaine Edmonds. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Burrow out of the shotgun. Hauled in left side. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down. From the gun, a give to Brooks. And he can only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Slot man motioned over. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down. Burrow back to throw. Escapes the pocket. He's running for it. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a 1st. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it'll be 1st down, Bengals.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
First down from the red zone. This one's caught. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down. Throwing is Burrow. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
And look at the footwork there. Touchdown! The Bengals fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack, because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears and Caleb Williams running out for their next drive. The Bears with some nice field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Williams from the gun. He gets a lot behind one, deep downfield. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Brought down by Trey Hendrickson. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Williams. He has the first over the middle. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's a gain of 22. And that's a Chicago first down. We're to the 2-minute warning from the jungle. The Bears in possession. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Williams to throw on first. And no luck there, and that throw falls to the ground.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
Completed here to Komet. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. Defense looking to defend the marker on 3rd down. That throw's knocked away and incomplete. 4th down coming up.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that pushes the lead up to 13.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw. And a man is there to knock that away.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
Burrow throwing again on 2nd and 10. Into the hands of Gesicki. Complete. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it sets up a Cincinnati first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
On target to his man Higgins. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Jalen Johnson with the stop. To throw again, it's Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Brought in by Chase near the sideline. And he nearly takes it to the red zone before going out. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So it's 2nd down coming up. Burrow to the air now. Oh, he nearly reeled that in. As close as you can get. But just now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. Oh, this one is really close, Brock. Did he establish possession and then get both feet down?
Yeah, maintaining possession while being a ballerina, not always easy. A lot to look at here, but I know he thinks he's got a touchdown.
Well, good thing they reviewed it, because after further examination, the call on the field has changed. Tucker able to tack on the extra point. And the Bengals get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. The Bears going back on offense just before halftime. Not a whole lot of time left for him to put something together here before the break. The clock reads 24 seconds now as the final drive of this half begins. That throw finds Komet. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Chris Jenkins Jr. there on the tackle. He's back to throw. Diving forward, and he makes the catch. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. First down, Williams. A massive shot towards the end zone. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bears in front. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Terrace Marshall, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Jordan Love with a couple of touchdown tosses. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll run here on first down. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Off the play fake, Williams. Ooh, on him quick there, and they bring him to the turf. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Flat out a tremendous call. Perfect timing to blitz corner, and the result proves it. There was barely time for the QB to set himself up to throw, let alone look downfield for a target before he was absolutely decked by somebody who I think enjoyed that chance to rush the passer.
Extra DB out there for the Bengals. 3rd down coming. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Coverman is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
And you ask a lot of your defenders on that field. It is not easy to play defense in today's NFL. Not only stay in their assignment's hip pocket, but to make plays on the ball as it arrives. He was challenged with an intermediate throw, and he swatted it away with ease.
Takes it in at the 21. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And this truly has been an excellent campaign for him, sitting among the NFL's top 5 in receiving yards. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. shotgun handoff to Brown. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Second and 12 behind the sticks. Finds Chase on the slant. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Burrow out of the shotgun. Caught for big yards on the right side. And he's touched down about 5 yards shy of that first down marker. 3rd and 4 coming up now. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Got a man, it's Gesicki. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. On the give, it's Brooks. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. It's a gain of 4 there, and it'll be first down, Bengals. Tight end going in motion here. First down, Burrow to throw. He finds Brown right side. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
On 2nd down, it's Brooks. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Burrow back to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. On the draw, this is Brooks. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. Offense set for a 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd down, here's an option to the right. Who swarms in the middle, this gets maybe a yard. Jalen Johnson with the stop. Here they come, this is 3rd and 5. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Bullock's kick is good. And that cuts the lead in half, down to 3.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Ball is set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Here come the Bears back out on offense. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they can really use some more points on this drive. On first down, they'll run. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. He's got a gain of 6 there. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. A give left side to Johnson. He's out in the clear. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for a Bears first down.
So all he needed to see right there before the snap. Defense way overcommitted to stopping the quick pass. Became really easy to hand it off and watch that running back do the rest.
One of the tight ends in motion left. From the red zone now. Dumped off to his running back. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here in second down. The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. But ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge game.
And in for the Chicago touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Santos now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bears make it a 10-point ball game. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Bengals ready for their next series. Let out on offense by their quarterback. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Burrow setting up the play action. Oh, he makes the catch. Impressive grab, but he should have let it go. They're going to lose yards. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. That tackle made by Tremaine Edmonds. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Play action now. Burrow. That's Gesicki. He's got it. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
On first down, here comes Brooks. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
And he has this one past the 50 and will start downhill into Bears territory. Now a stoppage for an injured player, and that is T. Higgins, who's shaken up and receiving some assistance. We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Bengals football, and they know what they need to do, trailing here in the 4th. So now here's 3rd and 5. Looking to throw, Burrow. And he's there to knock away the pass and force a 4th down. Trying for it with Burrow. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
1st down throw by Williams. Komet brings it in. And nothing doing on that run. Defenders bottle it up quickly. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Williams from the gun. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. Logan Wilson has it. And forget the interception. He makes this a pick-6 touchdown. You get a pick-6. You get a pick-6. These defenses, Brock, wow, they have competed. Seeing who ends up with the best highlight of the game, huh?
A highlight? You're going to call a pick-6 a multiple highlight, Kate?
No, even if it's your defense doing it, come on, B-Rock.
No highlight for a quarterback.
They can tack on one more now, bring things back to within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal will tie this game in the 4th. A quick chance at redemption after that pick-6 as it's sent away. Return starts at the 3. Return's looking good so far. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. The Bears offense now heads back out to the field. The Bears with some nice field position as they get set. 1st and 10. Now we're on the counter. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Williams has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Throwing from the gun. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete, 4th down coming up.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL where they come down to a play or two and 3rd downs critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
That hits at the 9, but nobody around to grab it. It carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The home team's headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
You know, when we watch the combine each and every single year, I hope you get good enough to understand as a football fan, watch the big guys' first 10 yards. Don't watch the ends and the linemen run 40. Watch their first 10 because that's the most critical. And that defensive end showed you right there the kind of explosive burst in the first few yards to get home for the big sack.
On 3rd down, here's Burrow. That's caught for the 1st. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
1st and 10 now, here's Burrow. Big catch made, and he got both feet in. just shy of the 40. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down. Now a shotgun handoff to Brooks. And they make the stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on second down. From the 37. And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. Third down coming up. Burrow from the gun. Into the hands of Gesicki. Complete. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Lone back gets the handoff. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field.
Offside, defense.
Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach.
Still first down.
A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on first down. Running it after the penalty. And he got what he could there, only to the 14. Give him 3 on the gain, as that makes it 2nd and 2 for him. Running once more with Brooks. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
They'll try and punch it in. And he stopped just a little short of the goal line. He's down to the 2. He gets him 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd and goal. This time it's a passing play. He stays up. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And they're headed in reverse after that sack.
Bend. Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, well, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
On 3rd and goal, here's Burrow. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete.
Boy, take a look at that. Look at him locking down his area of the end zone. They can bring it in close enough to take shots, but there are no easy touchdowns.
Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And in the 4th quarter, that's going to tie the game.
That's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Here's Duvernay on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. Their offense ready to take the field now. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Moore going to motion over right. That's complete to the sideline. Not a ton of room, but he does get the feet down.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Williams on the play action. He's got a man left. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Pick up a 5 on that play. And that's a Chicago first down. Duvernay in motion left. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And they bring him down after he ran through him up to the 43. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. They go counter. It's Johnson. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Back to throw it. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a 1st down.
They'll run now on 2nd down. And it's barely anything on that run, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. We have an injured player out there now, and it's DJ Moore who's being looked at after being shaken up. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Now to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. Bears trying to get everyone set. They're going quickly here. Setting up to pass. Pass complete. That's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Give now to the running back. And he gets this forward to the 19. Cincinnati uses its 2nd timeout, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. They give it to him again. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Another carry for him. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. 1st down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Back to the well again. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
That one is good! And that, folks, is your game winner!
That field goal gives them the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one isn't over, and that lead certainly isn't safe.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. One final shot here. Trying to push it deep downfield. And this one falls incomplete. No miracles on the final drive today. This game is over. So the Bears take this one on the road. And with overtime in their back pocket, they weren't going to lose it at the end, but they still managed to set up the field goal, and he executed the game winner. What a memorable way to win it. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Bears winners, as we say so long from Cincinnati.